And welcome everyone to another exciting episode of the We Women Golf Magazine podcast. I'm your host, Charlene Thomson, and today we really have a fantastic guest with us. We're diving into one of South Africa's most picturesque destinations, Devonvale Golf Estate and Golf&Wine Estate. We're situated in Stellenbosch. And I'm thrilled to be speaking with the general manager, Ryno. And Raina's going to be sharing with us an insider perspective on what makes this estate so special. Raina is not only having the job of maintaining a top tier golf course that hosts incredible events, which I've been honored and blessed to have been able to attend. But we're going to cover it all, promoting women's golf, junior golf, whether you're an avid golfer or whether you just want to hear the behind the scenes stories from the world of golf, you don't want to miss this conversation. So let's get started and let's welcome Ryno to the show. Ryno, hello there and welcome on this beautiful sunny Stellenbosch day in the heart of the winelands.
Morning, Charlene. Thank you. It's lovely being here. And as you said, it's been hard to find a nice sunny day in our area for the last 4 or 5 months, but it's beautiful out there and a good time to get back into golf again.
Indeed it is. And just to the viewers that can see behind Ryno and myself are some images of the beautiful Devonvale Golf&Wine estate. I managed to capture some of the golf estate behind me, as you can see here, and Ryno's captured the wine. So what a nice combination indeed that is. Let's dive right into our conversation today, Ryno. Maybe you could just share with the viewers a little bit more about the history of Devonvale Golf Estate and where you fit into it, your personal journey, what led you to becoming the general manager at Devonvale.
So it's quite interesting that many people think that Devonvale is sort of a late addition to golf courses in our area, but it actually was built in the late 1960s. Now, this whole area from where the golf course is to the back over the valley where J.C. LaRue is, was owned by a man called Simeon Bloomberg. And Simeon had a farm in this area. And his travels to America, which was quite often, I believe, led him to believe that he wanted to build the first golf estate in our country. So even his vision was to create this golf course living, which in the 60s was unheard of for anybody in South Africa. I believe the first real estates only happened late 90s. So he started that journey by building this golf course late 60s. I actually, interestingly, had a guy walking into my office last year and just coming to have a look, and he mentioned to me that he was the engineer. He was the English guy who was the engineer on this project. So just to confirm with him exactly what the dates was, and he said to me, yes, 69, 68 was when they started to move soil. And then he sort of concluded everything early 70s, 73, 74. It took a while. Ken Elkin was the course designer who designed many of the golf courses in our surrounds, like Paul and a few others. So Bloomberg then built the golf course, but it was basically for him and his friends it wasn't created as a club at all. It was just a golf course. It was here, they played it. It was very much farm-like. And then he tried to evolve it into estate living, but the municipality absolutely frowned upon it because it was agricultural land, and at that time it wasn't even close to being considered to become a golf estate living. And then in the 80s, it started to form a bit of a a club environment, but never a club. And what happened then is in the late 80s, there was a group of members that left here and went to go and build Kells River Golf Course, which those people that left here then formed Kells River Golf Course in the late 80s. And as they left to form Kells River, Devonvale Golf Club was formed on this side. So that's when it started to become a club, still not a traditional club, but a club because it was privately owned. But it started to form an identity, if I call it like that. Now, Simeon Bloomberg was quite of age at that time already, and I believe he passed away in the early 90s, whereby the club then went into they have to sustain themselves, which I believe wasn't really possible. And that is when in 96, the current owners, which is bought Devonvale and formed a company called Devon Must. So the estate, still then the golf club remained mediocre, if I call it like that, for 96, 97, 98. And then 99, the current owners decided to really invest their time into the property and start with the first development, which leads up our first fairway and is just above the clubhouse. And that sort of started to make it where we from there onwards, it was the start of becoming a business like what we see today. Also, JJ Provier, he was the brain behind it and the workhorse, and he immediately started also by building conference facilities, a big Indaba room. The hotel was sort of here, but it was made more to a commercial property at that stage. And then 99, we break ground with the development. And from there, it was sort of never looking back. My personal journey started here 2001. And I was still a student at Stellenbosch. And after working bars for a year, I decided that I'm looking for something more steady and something for weekends so that I can study through the week or study as much as I needed through the week and then work on weekends. And that's when I left my bar job in Stellenbosch, I literally drove to Stellenbosch Golf Course first, and I asked them if they I don't want to be a barman or a waiter or something. I wanted to work in a pro shop or even on the golf course if I could, because that was my passion. So Stellenbosch said they didn't have anything, but I could be a barman or a waiter. And I said, no, I don't want to. And I then had a job lined up at Morganhof, which was functions. But I decided before I drive there to make that a fixed job, I thought, let me drive to Devonvale. I remember there was a golf course around the corner. And I literally drove in and I spoke to the manager at that time, which was Dominic Provier, JJ's daughter. And I asked if I can start working here. And it was holidays for us. So she said, when can you start? And I said, tomorrow. And 7 o'clock the next morning, my journey at Devonvale started, whereby that's 23 years later. So I then finished my studies and I did a postgraduate as well. And as which is now my sister-in-law, Dominique, when she left, she was part of the Olympic sailing campaign. And in 2005, when I finished my studies, I was sort of on my way to England to go and work with a job that I lined up on that side. My sister-in-law went on to the Olympic campaign that was of 3 to 4 years. It was a 2008 Olympics. So 2005, she had to leave and then permanently be away. And that's when JJ asked me if I don't want to take over as golf manager at that time, while I still continued with studies on this side. So I thought, yeah, it's not a bad idea. I enjoy golf, so let's see where it goes. And so in 2005, I started permanently working at Devonvale as well. First golf manager, and then that evolved that I became general manager. And then because we're a private company, in 2017, when JJ retired from the business, I took over as CEO of the company. in all that time, so much has happened. We've built our first development. We've changed the golf course to become what it is today, which I believe is an awesome golf course to play. We've really boosted our facilities, from conference facilities to the hotel. That's a good 4-star, and that's our market. We want to stay 4-star. And we've now happily concluded our second, or not concluded, but the development period is done with our second development, and houses are going up as we speak. Look, it's a lot of people frown also upon golf estate living, but we've done it a little bit differently than others, where our housing doesn't really encroach on the golf course. So the first development is along the first, quite far away from the first. As you can see, the first fairway is at least from the middle of the fairway to the houses as at least 100 meters. So it doesn't feel like the houses is close to you. And then the new development that's built along the 11th and 12th fairway is also a distance of at least 100 meters away. So it's 2 holes that it's actually only 1 hole. Only the 11th, you might have the feeling that there's also houses next to you, which I think still then gives us that nature out in nature, away from the hustle and bustle when you come and play golf in Devonvale.
As you can see, as the viewers can see on the image slide that I've put on there, that is from the clubhouse, the big building looking towards the dam, which is nice and full currently, but we'll have a chat about that. And then the first tee runs up to the left up there, which is quite a nice, it's a nice hole, but don't go over the hole, because you're going to have an interesting run back again.
Yeah,
Ryno,
exactly.
Yes. Also for the viewers, Ryno mentioned the Devonvale area that goes all the way to the top, over the back to the left there as well. This is really an interesting story. 69, so it's going to completely give away my age. So the club was born when I was made. So yeah, it feels like I've come home, seeing that I'm also a member at Devonvale at this beautiful golf club. I literally live a quick easy go drive, or a very 300 plus meter plus a bit more drive to the clubhouse. So I can really vouch for what Ryno has said till now. This is a beautiful course with a lovely clubhouse. While we talk about that, let's have a look at a few of the slides before we go on to the next conversation question. Isn't that just beautiful? This is one of my favorite pictures of
what is amazing is that Simonsberg Mountain, and that mountain, I believe in 2001 or 2002, around that area, that mountain had snow on it, which we have a picture of that as well, which really make it look like you're playing golf in Switzerland with snow on that mountain.
Well, we'll have to get back, and I would love to see that image. That was before my arrival in Stellenbosch. But yeah, for now, we're enjoying the sunshine very much, but very thankful the dams are so full again. We're going to get to that as well. Here's a few photos of the wildlife and animal life and nature that one can see quite easily on the course as well. And you could tell us a little bit more about also your environmental and sustainability practices that play in your management of the golf estate. If I remember correctly, I think you've won an award for water or something.
Yes, water conservation. But now looking at this picture, I just want to start with that. As you see at the top left, there's 2 owls sitting on the ground. What is amazing is that these owls were actually born on the ground by the driving range. And then we try to cordon that area off, that we don't cut near it, we don't do anything, so that they can survive. But what they actually did is, on the driving range, we've got these holes in the ground where we sometimes fit soccer posts, where we have our staff play soccer for fun. But 2 of these owls, they hop along the ground, and they obviously found their way falling into this hole. And luckily our greenkeeper heard the screeching, and we saved those 2 owls. And now what's amazing is I see them often. This is now at least 4 or 5 years back, but I still see them hunting from the ground. So my house is situated on the fifth hole. So when I go and walk in the evenings, if it's just sort of sunset, then I see these owls sitting on the fairway by the 4th and by the 17th, and they hunt from the ground, which is amazing. You don't often see that with owls being so low, but they're still around. And so, as you say, from an environmental perspective, bird life is very important for us. Now, it's easy to just go and cut off reeds and clean dams and make it as pretty as possible for the golfer, and this is what they see in America or on the TV. But we have such a close feeling to bird life and to life around our state. Even that, so the reeds we leave, and I mean, there's hundreds of birds that sort of nest in those reeds every year. Even there's these foxes that they bred either between the fifth hole, the fifth green behind, or they breed by the second, right of the second hole into a pipe there. And these foxes has been around for 20 years plus, and every year they came back. I was worried with we installed a new Clearview fencing around our whole estate last year. So it's a 4-kilometer fence with electric fencing and cameras and the whole security issue and electric fencing. And I was worried about life going and coming, because there's a certain time that the foxes also breed, but then they leave, obviously somewhere else. They go, not sure where. But I was worried that we sort of block that with all the new stuff that we're doing. So we've opened up a few holes at the bottom of the fencing to allow wildlife to go in and out. So we really try to accommodate and to keep even snakes. I mean, I caught a snake again in my house 2 weeks ago. There's a whole ecosystem, and we shouldn't really disturb it with moles and snakes, etc. It's always fun to be around it and to see it. Yes, we've brought in springbok. There's about 22 springbok, and they have a wonderful life with no predators. But that's the environment that we try and create. Is when you come to Devonvale, you're sort of out and about and hopefully can see some of this amazing wildlife. We've even have a montage of all our birds that we, as you walk in by the pro shop side, there's a whole photo wall of all the birds of Devonvale, etc. Then sustainability, as you mentioned, water for us, the water that we won was on water conservation. We don't collect any water from anywhere except what we collect via the rain each year. So obviously the Western Cape has been in a drought the last 10 years. This year has been an exception. Last year and this year has been an exception. So what we have at Devonvale is we have to collect. So we have a main dam that we saw in that picture that collects about 300 million liters. For the first time in my 23 years here, that dam is 100% full at a volume of 300 million liters. And then we have a system sort of from developments as well. People don't always realize that, but you create quite a catch-up area if you create from developments. If you build it well, you have a huge area of collection of water, which makes a huge difference. And I believe that's what made the difference this year, because on paper, we've had less rain this year than last year, this time. So it's really just a collection that's been more efficient. And over the years, what we've done is we've closed open holes, or what was considered dams. We closed that, piped it, so that we can get water caught quicker and that it doesn't evaporate into the ground at some places. So what we collect is what we keep. And then also we have our own sewage plant that we sort of, all the estates sewage from the clubhouse, hotel, the houses. We've built a new state-of-the-art sewage plant last year with our new development. It sits underground. It's built into a hole of about 6 meters deep with 3 chambers. And from there, we treat all the sewage that we collect on the golf course, and then we We pump that to our dams, which then does get tested and it is safe. And then that's what we use to irrigate out in the golf course as well. Also, what I'm quite proud of is that all the wet food that we have on the estate, we really entice homeowners to keep wet food separate, and we recycle as much as we can, or we really try and recycle. I mean, when we started 15 years ago, we actually had 5 bins for recycling. Some homeowners found that a bit difficult. Now we just ask them to keep the recyclables and the wet food separate. What we do then with that wet food and garden refuse is we make compost heaps from it, and we turn it, and we use those compost heaps again. Like now we're busy sifting those compost heaps that have been lying there for 3 years, turn them over, sifting them, and then we'll put them out onto the tee boxes as a top dressing to level out the tee boxes and give that much needed fertility that the tee boxes, much needed food that the tee boxes and the grass need. So it's really a process of what we have here is we're trying to use and reuse and just keep the environment safe from any outside agencies of just being greedy, if I call it like that. And even STM, that's been with us, Southern Turf Management, has been our golf course management company from 2013. They have a lot of golf courses in our area, up country as well, landscaping, etc. So they stay with the new trends of, I mean, spraying and what you use in today's time is evolving quite drastically. So they've created stuff that obviously is more safer for the environment all the time, because as we know that if you use the wrong pesticides and herbicides, etc., that collects, it stays in the ground and it stays there for 8, and then when the rain comes, it washes into dams, and then from there, it's sort of you continue the cycle of just keeping this bad stuff in the ground. Now we try and block that also by cleaning dams. We were fortunate enough that we had the drought, so we could really get all the silt and gunk out of dams and then put that away. So we've really done our job, I believe, to be as sustainable and as friendly to the environment as we can. I mean, for registration papers and certificates, we've with our vineyard that we have, we used to have 5 hectares of vines that we've made wine from. Now we're 1.5 hectares of a combination of Shiraz and Sauvignon Blanc, and we act on best practice there as well, whereby I've been registered when I make wine. We replanted these vineyards 2021. We planted our first vines in 2000, and when we made wine, those were under registration of what I call the IPV. Not sure what it means in English, but it's a certification that you have to go through to also show that you're acting in best practice with what you spray and what you do within the making of your wines, and that gives you certification to put on your wine bottles.
Very interesting. I could listen to all of this for hours. It's really close to my heart. You also have your own nursery where you grow your plant material and your landscaping that you do. It's really pretty. Just for the viewers, just as you can see at the bottom there, win golf for 2. So you and a mate can go out there and play a round of golf at the beautiful Devonvale Golf and Wine Estate. And the question that we have is, what unique features make Devonvale Golf and Wine Estate stand out as a destination for both golf and community events? So we're going to move on to maybe the community events. Let's talk a little bit about events, charity, development. Ryno, what can you tell us what's happening in this gathering?
So coming out, November is the month for what we normally consider. October is the start of the golf season, but November is the month to celebrate that we're in a new season, and it's a time that we normally do our classic, which many other golf courses does as well. So what's unique to our classic is that we start. It's a sort of a 3-day event, but on different days. We start on the 6th of November with a classic meat day, with lots of meat prizes. Every Wednesday at Devonvale is a meat prize, but on the classic meat Wednesday, we add a lot more to the prize table, a lot more for people to win. This midday classic, we're going to actually decided to create a bit of a more fun atmosphere and have a preferred drive, which is these days, that's my game. When I play golf, I hit it long and the rest I can't do, but I pick my handicappers to support me. And then we'll have a boerewors braai afterwards outside, and just enjoy prize giving and a beer or two and a boerewors outside. So that's the Wednesday, 6th of November. Visitors, members, everybody is welcome. So we're happy. The more, the merrier. I believe it's visitors pay $4.20, and members is obviously members rate. And then on the Saturday, we host our very, I would call it almost famous, because there's not many others that does that. It's our classic foursomes, whereby we play a foursomes event. For those who don't know, it's me and Charlene plays together, and Charlene hits the first drive, I hit the second shot, and you play the ball until it's in the hole. Yes, it's metal, but that creates the fun. So you pick your partners wisely, and not too many sorries, and you play 36 holes, because ultimately you only play 18 holes if everything goes well, because you're hitting every second shot. It's fun, it's different. We also play that event in 6 balls, which create you pick your friends, and you can have a lot more fun playing as a combination of 6 people together, because you only play 3 balls in that 6 ball. So that's fun, it's different. I think that's what we all need to strive for in the golf environment, whereby golf itself, the traditional way, it's hard. To play by yourself, it's not always fun. So to create something that creates a little bit of a uniqueness and a different and a lacquer atmosphere, that's also the reason why I play golf. Yes, I've gone through playing the more serious golf, but these days it's not about the score anymore. It's about the fun that you have on the golf course and who you enjoy your conversation with. And then the very well supported, which I believe is almost sold out again, is our Ladies Classic, which is on the 23rd of November. And there's a dress-up theme and the whole. I always said I think the ladies does it better than men. Their gees and atmosphere is just is beyond what we as men can enjoy. We got an ego that we have to protect, and women just go out and have some fun. So it's awesome to see. It's awesome to see, and I really enjoy seeing. I really think that. I mean, it's not the best golfers always, but they really are having fun. And that's what it's about. That is what golf should be about for the future if we want to keep this game, keep on growing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You guys are very good at giving most golf prizes away. We won't go into that, but at least those people also get wine. So everybody gets something.
Exactly, yes.
As they say, what happens at foursome stays at foursome.
Yes, and not too many sorries. You're not allowed to say sorry, otherwise you're going to have to drink a little bit of a strafdop afterwards, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Now, let's have a look at some more of the slides there, just to give our viewers some more exposure. But for those who would like to experience to play there, please make a booking, go and enjoy it. Also into the competition, and you could win Golf for Two. You can comment the answer on this Facebook page where you are currently seeing the live show. But we will keep this competition open for the next 24 hours for the viewers
Charlene,
that are coming back.
If I could just comment as well on the answers, there's no right or wrong answer. It could be what people also feel like, people that's been here, what they find as unique or different, or that would be awesome to see. So any answer is welcome. We will pick the most unique and best one from that. Absolutely,
that's a great idea. That's inside the clubhouse. Very, very beautiful and very relaxing. There's a lovely fireplace, which we do enjoy in winter. Tell us a little bit about there's a hotel as well. There's conference facilities. There's we've just seen the restaurant.
We've created the business that there's sort of a 2-tier theme to it, whereby in summer we try and create the tourists also coming and the local golfer to come and stay and play, whereby from December till about middle April or end of March is the season that we sort of concentrate on golf and stay. Our hotel has 34 rooms inside the hotel, and then we also have 9, as you can see around the pool, there's houses, there's 25 cluster houses. We also, as part of the hotel, there's 9 of these houses that people can rent as well. It's 2 bedrooms. So that's season time, golf season time. And then in the winter, we really try and concentrate on conferencing. We have 3 conference rooms, one that can house up to 150, one a little bit smaller, up to 80. And then in the room that I'm sitting in now is our new boardroom area, which hosts about 12 people around a beautiful table. It's been renovated this year. And then we try and cater for the market of conferencing and events from about end of April till October. And then obviously, November as well, because it's a lot of year-end functions, events, brides, bar mitzvahs, everything that you can think of is coming up now. So it's a two-tier business whereby not that we're not doing golf in winter, but obviously golf is slower in winter and it doesn't create the same business as in summer and season. So that's how we put the business together, is that it gives us that two-tier option, winter and summer.
Sure. There's so much we could still talk about, Ryno, but we've just run out of time already. When it comes to golf, wine, fun, friends, it's a never-ending conversation. It brings so much joy, this kind of conversation. And Devonvale, is just absolutely magnificent. I mean, if I drive from where I stay just down the road to Devonvale, I could actually see Table Mountain on a nice clear day when there's no clouds. So what a beautiful environment to go and spend your time, take your wife with, book into the hotel, give her some spa treatment while you go and play some golf. There's always someone to play with. I love your pro shop. I love your staff at the pro shop as well. They're so friendly and accommodating, always try going out of their way to make it work for the player and for the guest. The food is fantastic. I can vouch for that. The wine is never enough, and the events just and the events I've participated in has just been so much fun. So much so that I ended up being a member at Devonvale. Just your final thoughts, Ryno, before we say goodbye. What would you like still to say?
From my side, I think what makes us also unique, our golf course, is I've always said it's a feel-good golf course. I think many people, not so much for women, but many players that I've spoken to has played their best rounds at Devonvale. I think we live in a time where instant gratification is sort of what people want, and golf is hard, and I don't think golf courses should make it harder for people to play. So our mission and vision is to look after that middle handicap range from 15 to 20. And that is what our golf course cater for. So come and see for yourself, enjoy it. Our relaxed atmosphere. We're not a traditional member club whereby our visitors are welcome almost every day. And if you're a visitor, you're a member for the day, and we treat you like that. So we really want to create that awesome home away from home.
And Ryno, you guys sure know how to do that very well. Thanks so much for your precious time. I know you're very busy with all the events and looking after this beautiful golf estate. I think you can agree with me that today was absolutely an incredible conversation with Ryno, the CEO and GM of this beautiful golf estate. It's clear that Devonvale is not just a beautiful place to play golf, but a community that's dedicated, really truly dedicated to growing the game. There's, like I said, so much more we could talk about your golf development that you do at the bottom at your driving range. There is remarkable, but we'll come back for that. You guys are creating really unforgettable experiences for your members and for your guests. And to all our listeners, if you haven't yet visited Devonvale, now is the time. whether you're looking to challenge yourself or on this course, this beautiful course, or simply just you want to go out there, enjoy a great day. This is the estate that has something for everyone. And remember to enter for the competition on the social media platform. You can also contact them on their detail at the bottom there. Just drop them an email or phone them, go onto the website, book around. And thank you very much for tuning in today. But be sure to follow We Women Golf Magazine's podcast for more exciting interviews and updates from the world of golf. And until next time, keep swinging, keep exploring new courses, old courses, and enjoy every round. And I'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ryno.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks.